like to start off first of all by saying our hearts and prayers go out to the family of the young man that was killed last night. That's where it all starts. Our officers, are many of which are parents or aunts and uncles, and so when the tragic death of a child hits, it hits us home. I'd like to also, before we get into the brief, thank all of those people within the community, community leaders, and law enforcement agencies, to include Oktibbeha County 911, Mississippi State Police Department, Oktibbeha County Sheriff's Department, United States Marshals Task Force, FBI North Mississippi, as well as Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and to some degree Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. We couldn't do it without that collaborative effort in moving forward. Last night, in review of the events, last night approximately 8 p.m., a vehicle was targeted by some suspects at the corner of Carver and Hiwassee. This is where gunfire erupted at the corner. That vehicle was able to evade the suspects through the Peoples Street, Brooksville Gardens area where additional gunfire took place. To be clear, these are both the victim as well as the suspects were in vehicles rolling, traveling, shooting. A short time later, a vehicle related to the victim on Santa Anita Drive was leaving out. They were relatives of the original victim, to include Lassane Kemp Jr., a 9-year-old young man. The same, what we believe, the same vehicle responsible for the first shooting rolled up and opened gunfire upon the second vehicle, shooting and killing our young man. The family, of course, traveled quickly to OCH, and that's where, per their policy, they had notified the police department as we were receiving different calls of interest with the gunfire. We are 20 hours into this investigation. This is still a relatively new investigation. And again, a credit to the men and women within our department that worked very hard on this. What I'm about to produce is suspect information. These are the individuals that have, we feel very strongly are responsible for both the aggravated assault and the murder. Now, at this stage of the game, this is important for individuals to understand. We have active warrants for aggravated assault. We are awaiting lab results that we anticipate within 24 to 48 hours with our federal counterparts. We will be pursuing murder one charges on these individuals. So with that being said, let's go over the individuals here, and I apologize as I'm checking on my notes. You've all got your printout of the individuals involved. So suspect number one is going to be Berrien Hubbard, aka B-Man, age 29 years of age. Second individual that we are looking for the community support as well as local law enforcement support and apprehension is Tabrion Fisher, aka Tay-Tay. The third individual that we believe is responsible for this tragic loss is Delvion Lindsay, aka Dez, age 19. These are the individuals that we are going to be pursuing for apprehension and accountability of their actions. And at this time, again, I'm limited to the information I can provide, but this is where we are in the investigation, and I'll open it up to questions.
Chief, any other rumors that this may have been a retaliatory type of shooting? Can you confirm or say anything regarding that, the motivation?
I'll be limited on the motivation. I think that this would be the best approach for that. We do believe that this is the individuals involved in last night's tragic events were also involved, if you recall, almost a year ago with a double homicide where two opposite entities had met and shot and killed each other. And we think that this is directly related to that. So I think that your sources there are accurate. And we are looking at as a strong possibility of motive.
This incident, you're talking about the one right near the school on that street, or is that a different one?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, in the area locally known as the Henderson Hill area.
I know there's been a lot of shootings taking place over there at those apartments. Is the department doing anything such as monitoring those apartments closer now?
Sure, you're talking about to be clear, you're talking about the Brooksville Gardens area?
Yes, sir.
You know, I think that locally that has been a discussion for a long time now. That is a side story with our code enforcement, demolition efforts, working with the city, and I'll refer where we are in the process with Brooksville Gardens to our city attorney and to the mayor's office. As far as what the police department can do, let's be clear, we can't manage properties. We can respond, we can report, and Brooksville Gardens unfortunately has been a site for a long time now of tragic activity, and the residents there will tell you that, and it's something that we're very united on as a community, that we've got to do more and do better. Our abilities to be there, what the police department has done is we've placed camera systems in our Cosmos camera systems in and around especially the north side community. Statistically, it's helped a lot, especially in the last 6 months in our reports of what's going on. But this is a carryover, unfortunately, what we believe of entities that have been in the criminal element, some of them, for a long time, and ridiculous arguments that have resulted in the loss of a young man who had nothing to do with it, by the way. So, yeah.
Chief, was there anyone else in the car with Lasang?
There were, but we're not prepared to release that at this time. And that's why, subsequently, that's why you've got 2 counts of aggravated assault for each one of these individuals instead of 1 count. And also, you know, with that being said, I touched on earlier with the help and support from the community. No, the Starkville Police Department cannot do we can't do our job without the help and support of the community. And I know the fact that when it strikes at a 9-year-old being killed, it strikes at all of our hearts, and the information is appreciated. I would like to, again, remind any of your viewers for Crime Stoppers, and that the Starkville Police Department will pay for information as well as Crime Stoppers, especially leading to the successful arrest and apprehension of these individuals.
Chief, you mentioned 9-year-old boy killed, innocent victim in this. Is there concern about other retaliatory shootings in response to this little boy taking gunfire?
That's a good question, yes. Obviously, anytime you look at the emotions of losing a child, you have to, as law enforcement professionals, start evaluating, okay, what's going to be the follow-up. We've reached out to different leaders within the community, and we've tried very hard to ensure that that's not the case. We've amped up our personnel. We do anticipate of showing a heavy police presence where we think there might be activities, and that's the best we can do, and that's a national response, and that's one that is going to be protocol for us as well. Any additional questions? Thank you for your time.